Hi everyone. For this month's update, I thought I would recap the amazing trip that we just took. We went to Mexico and visited Cabo San Lucas on the very tip of the Baja Peninsula. This was our first time flying post-GBS, so we were a little unsure about the accessibility, but getting on and off the plane and the plane ride itself went very well. We stayed at a resort called the Rio Santa Fe. Usually we don't stay at all-inclusive resorts, but we figured with everything going on, we might as well try it this time. The resort was beautiful. It had a number of swimming pools, including multiple swimming pools that looked out over the ocean. There were lots of good food options at the resort, and multiple bars, including swim-up bars, and my favorite, the self-serve bar. There was a walkway from the resort down to the beach, and for the first time since getting GBS, I was able to walk in the sand. From the beach, we were able to spot sea lions, fish that jumped right out of the water, and one day we even filmed a gray whale coming up to the shoreline. The resort had a fancy-looking lobby, nice rooms with a decent amount of space for Catherine, me, and the wheelchair to get around in, plus equipped with a bar and a fridge full of beers. And there was a really good gym at the resort, so I was able to get all my workouts in while I was there. But as much as Catherine and I liked the resort, it was time to do some exploring, so we went on a number of excursions. The first one was to the inner harbor of Cabo San Lucas. We obviously saw a lot of boats, but there's also some very interesting shops and bars and restaurants, and there was a beach that some people were swimming in, even though we were told you couldn't swim in this beach. Seems like people were doing that, so maybe next time we'll give that a shot. From the beach, we did a short stroll over to Baja Brewing, one of the few craft breweries around the area. Here's me showing off my new trick of one-handed pinting. The brewery also had a wonderful view of the surrounding area. After seeing the harbor, we decided it was time for our next adventure, so a few days later we came back and took a boat tour to see the Arch of Cabo San Lucas. The arch was pretty cool, but overall I just liked these giant rocks that came right out of the water. It reminded me of being in some fantasy movie. This excursion was probably the highlight of my trip. Not only was it beautiful, but it was very exciting for me to leave my wheelchair at the resort. With my leg braces, I was able to catch the shuttle, walk down to the dock, and walk onto the boat. Our final excursion of the trip was a 30-minute drive northeast to San Jose del Cabo. This town had a historic mission that looked over a large plaza, and many side streets led to interesting shops where Catherine was finally able to find herself a good cup of coffee. These shops also had a number of art galleries, as well as interesting sculptures around every corner. And I found a corner with Sierra de Laguna Brewery, so Catherine and I went inside there and had a beer. But like a good beer, our trip finally came to an end. Getting on the plane again was a cinch, and I can't wait to go on more trips, more adventures, and just push the boundaries of what I can do and what I can accomplish. And again, I could not accomplish this without the support of all my friends and family, and obviously my amazing wife, Catherine. I thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. You mean so much to me and my recovery. Thanks, everybody. See you next month.